All right, so this one's a bit new for my second channel. I don't think we've ever watched a Sydney Watson video. I've known about Sydney Watson for a very long time. For me to get you caught up with Sydney Watson, she is another vapid personality, like hollow personality, right wing talking head. She is, I believe, a dual citizenship of Australia and the United States and uses that as a framework for making her arguments, which are exactly the same as everybody else who makes the exact same boring arguments. Also, she works for The Blaze, or at least did. I think she might have bounced out completely professionally from them when she left the show she used to do, which we'll talk about that here in a second, too, because I think that's pretty interesting. But this is our video. Woke developers are destroying gaming. Dun dun dun.
I know I say this all the time, but this really is never ending.
Nice intro stinger. Not bad, not bad. Okay. It's very sincere.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Now, for those of you who don't know, I play video games in my free time because it's a way to switch my brain off. It's also very cathartic, so I don't commit murder.
Why is she trying to act like Shoe0nhead? What in the fuck? Why is she... She's literally trying to do Shoe0nhead stuff. She's like, welcome back to hell. And then I dramatically look to the side. I mean, it's almost like shot for shot the same like physical affectations as Shoe. What in the fuck, man? Wow. Okay. Jesus.
I'm just kidding, Mr. FBI man. Just kidding. But seriously, gaming really is a great way to just tune the world out. And when I've had a particularly bad day or I've been looking into something extremely messed up, it's always good to be able to just sit down and completely tune everything out and not have to be exposed to more politics. Some people choose to read books.
You can see where this is gonna go, yeah? Yeah. Fucking crazy. Yeah, this is Shoe0nhead at home. This is we got a Shoe0nhead from wish.com. That's what fucking Sydney Watson is.
Others choose to watch Netflix. I choose to throw axes at dead people. So you can imagine the collective disappointment felt when leftists make sure to get their creepy little tendrils into one of the only things left that we can actually enjoy.
You are about 7 years late on this argument, Sydney. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Oh my God, did you know that there's progressivism in video games? What?
More and more as games are released or even updated and remastered, you see more and more political messaging in games that otherwise didn't have it before. And it goes beyond that too. It isn't just political messaging. Sometimes there is a time and place for that. But this goes into other realms of social conditioning that we haven't seen before. I mean, really.
Okay. It's one thing to have a political message and say that, yeah, there's political messaging in it. Maybe I don't like that political messaging. Maybe it's kind of inappropriate or just kind of feels shoehorned in. Those are fine arguments. But when you start saying words like social conditioning, that is an entirely different level of conversation we're about to have. And I would like to know what exactly you mean by that. But yeah, let's go ahead.
Realistically, we probably have seen it before. I'm just probably noticing it now. Unnecessary political and social messaging is already pushed in basically every other medium, whether it be entertainment, on social media, through streaming services, celebrities. Take your pick, really, just take your pick.
Yeah, the world is progressive. Like, it's the world, dude. It's the world. The world is. Like, this is the thing that always drives me crazy about this kind of shit. Is in order to make this argument, you have to frame it as in like this is something that is a fringe or is like underhanded. It doesn't even have to be because it's overwhelmingly popular because that's just the way the fucking world is.
It's like a plague.
My toxic trait is that I feel like a literal god when I look this hot.
And some of us were stupid.
Why throw that clip in there? It's just to mock somebody. Just fucking ignore them. If you see that shit, just be like, oh, well, I don't agree with that. Okay. Like it does nothing except for try and spur more people to just see other people as shit, you know?
But enough to think that video games might continue to be more or less safe from that.
No, they never have been.
We're wrong.
They
There are
never have
countless
been.
games that have gotten the same woke treatment. A
Woke.
continued sore spot for a lot of people is The Last of Us 2, which basically simultaneously gave up, but also tried too hard, all at the same time, as far as the storyline went.
You mean critically acclaimed, beloved The Last of Us 2, that is only contentious because a very small minority of people started yammering about it because they needed something to add fuel to the fire of the culture war, and then very, very gullible young dudes were like, hey, I think maybe they have a point. Like, dude, nobody gives a shit. The Last of Us 2 is still a great game, and if you can't enjoy it, it's because you're poisoned by shit videos like the one that Sydney made.
Actually, in recent news, you guys are gonna love this. The Last of Us TV series that's coming out has introduced some race swap characters. Can you believe it? And
Who fucking cares? Who gives a shit? Why are you so fucking whiny? Who gives a shit?
expect the whole thing will just be something akin to this.
Has the planet gone mad?
Has the planet gone mad because their one character is going from white to black? The fucking horror. The horror. When you take this away from the comfortable space and narrative of where Sydney crafts this from, and you totally remove it from her or anybody else, and you put it in its own little isolated chamber, do you think it's a funny joke to say the world might be coming to an end because they made one character from white to black? No sane or reasonable person would ever give a shit. Nobody would care. If it doesn't have any impact on the actual narrative or background of the character, nobody would ever give a shit. And if you do give a shit, you're telling on yourself. There's no other translation for that. It's so fucking weird, dude.
I've recently noticed a lot of forced messaging in games that I like and in franchises that I like, and I just sort of feel like, can I just not enjoy anything?
No, you can't, because you're fucking poisoned. And I'm glad that you can't enjoy anything because you're a shitty, miserable person. And it's really funny that you poisoned yourself to the point that you're going to be constantly upset and pissed. That's really funny. That's really funny to me. And there is a cure for that. Don't be shitty.
In recent news, the Days Gone writer and creative director blamed woke reviewers for the game's low critic scores. He tweeted several reasons for the low reviews, with the final one being that woke reviewers couldn't handle a gruff, white biker looking at his date's butt.
Okay, first of all, I never heard anything about that with Days Gone. I had no woke reviewers. I'd have to dig to find it. I don't really know what this dude's talking about. And also, Days Gone was a good game. It is a good game. Very good game.
I mean, he's probably not wrong. Now, obviously, some people have pushed back here and said, no, it was just a not very good game, and maybe that's the truth of the matter. But
yeah, I don't think she played it. I did. It's good. It's a fun game. It's a really fun game. It's cool.
But I think the misunderstood point here is that what users want is often extremely different to what developers and reviewers want. An article from 2019 made note of several reviewers who complained about the game's white protagonist.
We've all known that IGN and Kotaku are fucking stupid. Just ignore them.
They also complained about having to kill child zombies because, okay.
That might actually really weird some people out. Sure, I can understand that. But if you're not comfortable with that, don't play the game.
Another article noted, if Deacon St. John, who is the main character in Days Gone, was a bisexual biker boy who preached for the greater good, the game would have still been the same. It would have still revolved around a drab world that many struggled to care for.
I don't really think we need to have it. In Days Gone, the personality of the protagonist is really not necessarily it's not that important. It really isn't. So I mean, I guess like that's a relevant criticism, but I still liked it. I thought it was a very enjoyable game.
I found this article excerpt to be particularly not intelligent because what this writer fails to understand is that, yes, the user experience likely would have been the same, where the user would have found the world to be drab, but as far as critic reviews go, they probably would have loved it for all the aforementioned things. And that's the point, right? The gaming world is becoming just like other forms of entertainment, superficially inflated and directed by progressive woke lunatics who don't actually care about the game, but the game's messaging.
That's not even remotely true, nor does that make any sense with what you were just talking about. You just made an argument that one of the main problems is that critics and reviewers, games journalists, which we all know are fucked up, even us progressive lefty people know that gaming journalists is fucked up, that it's these critics that are out of touch. And now you're saying that the gaming world is all woke, when it's not. There are games that are woke, this dumbest fucking word on the goddamn planet, and I fucking hate how these rightoid, empty-headed dumb fucks just use woke rather than say literally anything and be descriptive about what they're fucking talking about. They're just like, woke is bad, whatever is bad makes me feel icky. It's so fucking lazy, intellectually dishonest, and dog shit. Fucking say what you mean. But you make the argument that it's all about gaming journalism, and then you're like, oh, in the whole world of gaming, it's all woke and shit. That's not true. What gets made and what gets the most money is what resonates with the viewers. Now, yes, bad reviews can fuck that up to a certain extent, but we have seen time and time again, more often than not, it's like, say, Steam reviews. It's your fellow gamer reviews that people are going to base a lot of their purchase decisions on. Not whether or not some jackass at Kotaku is like, it's a good game, or it's a bad game because there's a white man. Like, nobody gives a fuck, okay? Nobody gives a shit about Kotaku. You have to manufacture this into something that it absolutely is not in order to be able to make this argument, and it's so fucking lazy.
Which brings me to Modern Warfare 2. Now, I am acutely aware of the fact that this isn't necessarily hot news because it's been a couple weeks since this was being talked about, but honestly, I didn't really see a lot of coverage about this particular issue, so I wanted to address it. But before you once again board my hell gondola and I potentially ruin your whole day, let's hear from today.
More discount shoe fucking ripoff, and then she's gonna do a sponsorship for.
And make sure to place your orders before December 16 to ensure they arrive in time. The new Call of Duty called Modern Warfare 2, I don't know why my mouth can't say that, came out at the end of October. Call of Duty is a franchise of military games that involve campaign-style gameplay or online multiplayer gameplay where, if you're anything like me, you just die endlessly because the kids in China are better than you at this. I can't
Korea. Yeah, at least Shoe can be funny. I know. Yeah. She emulates Shoe's cadence, her editing style, the way her references to like hell and taking you on a ride and blah blah blah. It is very, very obnoxious. It is so obnoxious how goddamn much of a ripoff of Shoe she is these days.
Can't stress enough that Call of Duty is a military game. You run around shooting things, throwing grenades, insulting everyone around you as a form of male bonding. It is not, by any stretch of the imagination, warm and fuzzy. This isn't the adult equivalent of Barbie Race and Ride. Although given enough time, it probably will be. So in recent news,
Fucking stupid.
the Modern Warfare developers decided to add some things to this game that left people feeling a little confused and a little upset. Because apparently if you make any sort of entertainment, then you inevitably catch the Netflix, Marvel, and Disney bug. Stupid. Military game Call of Duty goes woke. No American flag, 22 gay pride flags, burning US flag, BLM allowed, but not WLM or FJB.
Okay.
What a headline. What the hell is WLM? Women like men? Oh no, I can see why that was banned. No, it's White Lives Matter. Oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. Stupid.
You know what? I just wanted to go ahead and make the argument. I'm so interested.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the latest installment in the franchise's runaway success, and was released on October 28, 2022, features not one, but 22 pride flags and no American flags as a call sign.
Who gives a fuck? Who fucking cares? Like, I mean, it is a little weird that they don't have an American flag. Sure, I think that's strange. But I could not even begin to tell you how much I don't give a shit.
Call signs in COD are basically one of the ways that you can distinguish yourself from other players in the game, and in days gone by, many of the flags that were available were country flags, not pride flags. Now, of the 29 flag options in this new game, 22 of them are pride flags. There are 22 of them? We're talking about
Sure, fuck
22 pride flags for sexualities that I didn't even know existed. 22 sexuality? What? Our species is 100% gonna die out.
I am very... I just don't understand why anybody gives that much of a shit about it. Like, it's fine, you know, if you're like, I think it's weird that there's no American flag and we have like a bunch of pride flags. Like, sure, yeah, I get that. I get why you would feel that way, but being upset about it doesn't make any sense to me. To me, it's more like that's weird. Whatever.
So I just bought the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I only have one gripe so far since playing the game. So I just started playing online last night, and for anybody who's ever played a Call of Duty game, you know you can customize your online characters. You can customize what they call calling cards, which is kind of what you see in the background here. So from the outset of this, you have 29 different calling cards.
There are no country flags at all, if I remember correctly. Really? Huh. That might be why. I don't know.
That you can choose from. 7 of those are random, like Call of Duty type calling cards. 22 out of the 29 calling cards that you can pick from the outset are all pride flags.
Okay.
Nothing against a pride flag. You want to fly your pride flag? That's fine.
Sure.
But where the is the American flag?
Okay. No. See, he's just proven the fucking point right there. There are no country flags. There are no country's flags. And I don't know if you know this, Sydney, and this strange creature, I assume, is technically a human. Maybe with plus or minus a chromosome or two. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but American is not a sexuality. But again, I get that it's weird that there are so many pride flags. Personally speaking, if I was a developer and I just wanted to put a pride flag on there, I just put the basic rainbow one. Just assume it's everybody, fucking whatever, just as fine. I wouldn't put 22 in there. But I also don't really give that much of a shit. But it is very funny for people to be booty bothered about there being no American flag. I'm starting to fuck up my words as bad as Sydney is. I'm gonna go find this guy's TikTok and find something funny to tease him about after I'm done streaming today. Culture counter attack. Yeah. Wow, he does not look like a human being. Anyway.
Activision. It's a military-based game, and you don't have one American flag in there?
Yeah, no British flag, no nothing. No country flag is actually quite good. Yeah, fuck. I agree. Fuck it. Why put any country flags in there? Who gives a fuck? It's not that big of a deal. It's really not.
Jokes aside, this is an issue that developers run into all the time these days. They prefer to make games for their staff rather than for the audiences that actually buy them.
Really? Is that why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is currently one of the best-selling games on Steam? Overwhelmingly is one of the most played games right fucking now as we speak? because they made it for their staff, not for the players that are overwhelmingly enjoying the shit out of the game, which is how they can get away with charging $10 more for that game than any other game that comes out. Is that why, Sydney? Because they made it for their staff and not for the gamers? All those gamers who are so alienated that nobody's playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? One of the most played games right now as we... Jesus Christ. Do you understand how fucking stupid this is? To be able to put this smug of a stupid fucking look on your face and be like, I have made a very good fucking point that is demonstrably fucking dumb and incorrect. What the fuck? What in the fuck? Now, this is where I'm like, this is what's depressing about this shit. 790,000 subscribers, 478,000 fucking views on this shit. This is actually the hellscape that I'm showing you right now, is that you have a huge culture of people who will listen to this dumb fuck make dumb fucking arguments that are self-defeating in every single fucking way and go woke, go broke, while Activision is racking in billions of dollars off of the game that she says was not made for gamers. This is how pathetic the attempts to revitalize Gamergate is. It's so goddamn stupid because it's not even real.
The people who keep them employed so that they can drink their soy milk lattes and vote for Biden. People were also pointing out that there isn't a possibility to select an American flag, or any other country flag for that matter, as a cosign, but the only American flag that they found in the game is on fire, burning on the ground.
Okay.
Very good. This actually reminded me a little bit of
what?
the controversy surrounding the Spider-Man game.
Ooh, are you triggered, snowflakes? Are you fucking triggered, snowflakes? The flag is burning. Are you fucking triggered? You fucking morons.
For PC that was happening in August, where someone made a mod that changed all the pride flags in the game to American flags. The mod was labeled homophobic, it was deleted, and the creator was banned from mod hosting websites. Because the mod creator also referred to the pride flag as stupid, one mod hosting site responded on Twitter saying that ModDB is an inclusive environment for all, and we do not permit targeting marginalized groups. Our content moderation is largely automated, but when identified, we have a zero tolerance policy for this kind of content.
Yeah, it's a choice to do that. You know, like if they don't want to have it hosted, they don't want to host it, they don't have to host it.
But to be honest with you, and just, because I'm obviously a pessimist and a negative Nancy about a lot of these things, I still think this situation would have gone the same way, regardless if the mod creator referred to pride flags as stupid or not. I still think that they would have seen this, decided that it was an attack on homosexuality and on pride, and
what else is it? I mean, that's the thing. Like, again, these are things that I usually just don't give that much of a shit about. But you have to consider what the intent is. Why would you specifically take the time and energy to go in and make a mod that removes specifically pride flags? Why would you do that? Like, is it just because, I'm trying to strongman this argument to like, what possibly could be a reason that you want to remove the pride flags that is not like what it obviously is. Somebody just straight done like gay people. It thinks it's like some offensive thing to their sensibilities, Judeo-Christian, American value, blah, 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 or some shit like that. I'm trying to think of a good excuse, and I'm coming up fucking empty, dude. I'm struggling with it.
And then subsequently removed the mod anyway because no American flags allowed. It feels like this is so present in so...
Oh, because, now see, she twisted around that it's not about removing the pride flag. It's because they were trying to remove American flags in the game. You screwed up the game, Sydney. You screwed up the games. The Spider-Man game has plenty of American flags all over it, but it also has the pride flags. The mod did not change every flag because every flag was a pride flag to American flags. It already had American flags and pride flags. It just changed the pride flags to American flags. Now, if you knew what you were talking about, you could say that. Or you do know what you're talking about and you're lying. Either way, it serves one very specific purpose.
so many different areas of the entertainment space or the creation of entertainment space, where a huge portion of people view any sort of nationalism as a huge problem.
It is. Nationalism is a fucking poison. Being a patriot does not mean being a nationalist. It's true. Nationalism and patriotism is not the fucking same. Patriotism, good. Nationalism, bad.
And the funny thing is, these people, these developers, these creators would rather give us 22 pride flag options rather than letting people select a flag that represents their country or a country that they like. Because it's not like these pride flags represent...
Well, there are no country flags, period. Period. And those call sign backgrounds, they don't have to be country flags. They could be lots of different things.
A very small portion of the population in the first place. And an even smaller portion of the population who were playing Call of Duty. I love modern society so much. It absolutely does not feel like I'm being crushed to death by stupidity. But
if only that was a possibility. If only that was actually a possibility. Instead of you make money by feigning being offended at stupid things that aren't even real issues. It would be so wonderful if it actually did have manifested a physical discomfort and injury to you, because that would actually be entertaining, as opposed to this poor man's knockoff of a 2015 Shoe0nhead video. Goddamn.
But Modern Warfare 2's game changes don't stop there. People have pointed out that you can make your clan name BLM, but if you try to use WLM or FJB, these are prohibited due to profanity.
I mean, that's their choice to do it. Yeah. One is a dog whistle for something rather gnarly, and the other, you know, if they just don't want to push a fuck Joe Biden chant, like that's their choice. I don't know. I just think fuck Joe Biden is just cringe, honestly. You can do a lot better. Let's Go Brandon at least is kind of clever. It's cringe still, but it's more clever.
I did it! I lived long enough to see White Lives Matter become profanity. Or
okay. It's not like it was ever good, okay? It was not like it was ever like, yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to say. Even back when I was like the biggest shitlord on the planet, like I literally wore a hat that said shitlord, I always thought White Lives Matter was a fucking cringe, terrible, fucking horrible thing to say. Just a dumb fuck thing.
women like men become profanity. I think both work. I think both are offensive to these kinds of people. I guess the most ironic thing, and for me the funniest thing, or the saddest thing, depending on your perspective, is that I don't know how many of you have played Call of Duty or who consistently play it, but if you've been in one of these game lobbies or just been playing the game on multiplayer online in general, you're gonna hear a lot of swearing, you're gonna hear a lot of slurs, and if you don't have a thick skin, you are 100% gonna be offended. It is the verbal Wild West. People do not hold back, and they do not give a crap.
Okay, so then what's the fucking problem? Like, I don't understand what her argument even is supposed to be. Like, these random bits of aesthetic and affectations not being allowed is like a big fucking problem and alienating the fucking populace of gamers, which it's not. They don't give a shit. It's still one of the most popular games like right now. And then like, oh, and also it's a toxic environment, blah 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 blah. What's your point? What is your actual point about this? It does. It undermines her entire fucking point.
It makes me wonder how long it will be before these gaming developers or these gaming outlets, so to speak, start trying to enforce censorship in game chats.
They have been doing censorship in game chats for typed chat for a long time. Lots of games have done that. We're talking like, I think probably 2 decades now. They've had chat filters. And as far as voice, they don't do that because that would take a lot of bandwidth and processing power to monitor every voice chat lobby. That's why they just give you tools of like, if somebody's being a dick and saying shit that you don't want to hear, you can mute them. That's what you do.
It looks like it's already a thing. Intel unveils a tool to censor hate speech in video game voice chat.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
a fortune teller. Bleep's central interface, I guess the thing that censors people, is designed to be easy enough for the average gamer to understand. Well, that's a bold assessment there. It operates via toggles and sliders and allows the player to control exactly how much offensive speech is bleeped out. Players can choose to hear none, some, most, or all, and under which category of slurs. Ableism and body shaming, aggression, LGBTQ plus hate, misogyny, name-calling, racism and xenophobia, sexually explicit language, swearing, white nationalism, and every possible variant of the N-word.
Now, before she comments on this, look at what this is. This is a tool that allows you, the player, to choose if you don't want to hear something. It's entirely optional. Your control. You have every available ability to just not hear something that you don't want to fucking hear. Now let's hear how she has a problem with that.
How does one exactly bleep out ableism and white nationalism? How is this even real? So there you have it, bleeping out the voice chat. Very good.
If you want to, if you choose to, how do you have a problem with that? Why would you even have a fucking problem with that? How in the world is this a real fucking human being? What in the fuck? It's a tool that lets you choose if you want to hear some shit or not. You could just not turn it on and hear everything. What the fuck?
I guess my overall point here is that it's incredibly frustrating and distressing in a lot of ways to watch yet another medium be taken over by the same people who've taken over other areas of entertainment.
This is a response to what the people want. You guys keep yelling about this shit, go woke, go broke, and whining about like Disney and Marvel and blah, blah, blah. These companies make billions and billions and billions of dollars. Activision is making billions of dollars off of Call of Duty. Like, they're making hand over fist money, stacks of cash. And the reason why is because they make things that are popular. You're whining about things that are popular. And you don't like them because of perceived grievances because you're so fucking fragile, you gotta cry and whine about things that you think somehow are offending you. You're one of the biggest fucking SJWs I've ever seen in my fucking life. This is the most pathetic goddamn argument I have heard since the old days of Gamergate. I don't understand who actually watches this and doesn't understand how absolutely soy this fucking video is. This is incredible. What in the fucking world is happening where this kind of shit isn't perceived immediately as such a whiny bitch-ass fucking video? What in the fuck? And the thing is, too, like, Sydney here did work for The Blaze, okay? And she ran this stupid show with this guy named Elijah Schaefer, and it was the same old boring-ass, ridoid, talking grievances, whining about the culture war kind of dog shit. She jumped out right before there was this huge expose about Elijah Schaefer being a fucking sex pest. It's the same old fucking thing, man. It's the same old thing that happens with all these people that get involved in, like, digital content creation. They always end up with these perceived grievances. They put themselves up as this platform and trying to, like, put their message out there, inevitably being surrounded by sex pests and people who fucking hang others out to dry over and over and over again. It's a constant, boring, shitty, poisoned-ass fucking media. This kind of shit ruins the brains of young kids because they're like, actually, yeah, that's not very fair. I should be able to say fuck Joe Biden in an acronym in my clan tag. Like, that's the most important fucking thing they have to deal with at any point ever in their fucking lives. Like, that's something that they should give a shit about. Pay more than 1 second's worth of their precious time on this earth to give a shit about. Like, what in the fuck, dude? I cannot even begin to imagine how this knockoff Shoe0nhead actually tries to think about how much gaming offends her these days. Maybe in the future, you should spend less time finding things to be, I don't know, offended by, you fucking snowflake, and making sure that you're not sitting on the same couch as a fucking sex pest, okay? Like just clean up your own fucking life. I do not get this shit. I don't. This is the first time I've ever done a video covering a Sydney Watson video, and I don't know if I can handle another one because Jesus fucking Christ, this was dumb as shit. Holy fuck.